and we're going to Miami running backs, and we're going to my guy.
It is your guy.
This is my guy. I will take claim to this guy.
It is your guy.
Because I talked him up so much last year before you jumped on the little bandwagon. And I also think, and we're talking about Myles Gaskins, he took a really, really good jump because once again, this team did not draft a running back of worthy.
Volume. That is what you get with Myles Gaskin right now in Miami. And that's what you get out of whatever starting running back they have. They go with one guy and they give him everything.
Yes. So, I mean, he played 1, 8, 9, 10, 11 because he did get hurt.
10 games.
He did get hurt. So he played 10 games. He had 142 attempts on 584. He only had 3 touchdowns, which isn't great, but he didn't get a lot of goal line work,
which is probably still going to be a concern. But in those 10 games, he was 12th in points per game for the running back position.
Yeah, and 4.1 yards a carry. But again, it's all volume.
Yeah.
20.
No, I mean, when you watch Myles Gaskin, it's not spectacular. It's not going to blow you away. If anything, he's probably a little bit below average.
Right.
But it's the volume that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, 22 attempts here, 21 attempts there, 18. I mean, that's a lot of attempts.
And they did one thing at the running back position. They brought in Malcolm Brown.
Yep.
For no money, nothing. But I do think he is going to see some playing time, and I do think maybe the red zone will be a concern for Myles Gaskin, because Myles Gaskin is a little guy.
Yeah.
He's a small guy.
Yeah, but here's also why I do like Myles. And honestly, right now, would you take a shot with Myles Gaskins or one of those Buffalo running backs?
Myles Gaskins.
100%. And here's the other reason.
That's not even close.
10 games, 2 touchdowns receiving, 388 yards, and he had 41 receptions. He does get some passing work.
Oh, he gets a lot.
Do not miss the fact that he gets passing work. And if you're playing PPR or half point, that's still going to be more valuable.
Yep.
So he does get some passing work. Now over to, unfortunately, the guy that has the possibility of taking a lot of goal line opportunities away is Malcolm Brown.
I just think he's going to be a pest like he's been his whole career so far. He's a very average running back. If he's the only guy in there and he gets the volume, kind of like Myles Gaskin, he will give you something that's usable. But I do think he's the clear number 2 right now, but I do think he can be that threat around the red zone.
Yeah, I mean, he had 5 touchdowns last year, and it was all basically at the beginning, but he had 2 games where he had 2 touchdowns in both of those games.
Yeah.
So for me, when I'm looking at him, he doesn't get a lot of yards. He doesn't get a lot of attempts.
No.
In fact, he had one game against Seattle. He had 6 attempts for 33 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep. I think when all 3 Rams running backs last year were healthy, especially towards the back half of the season when Cam Akers kind of took over, it was clearly Malcolm Brown was the third in that rotation, but really not at any point last year were the Rams 3 running backs all healthy and playing at the same time. So there was a big mix. Like we talked about it all last year. Which Rams running back you going to start? Darrell Henderson, Malcolm Brown, Cam Akers at the end of the season started popping up in there. Like it was a nightmare. I don't think that's going to be the case in Miami, but if Myles Gaskin does go down to injury again, I think Malcolm Brown will be usable.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 seasons he's had 5 touchdowns each season, which is not bad, but he plays limited.
See a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah, because again, he's more of a goal line guy. I mean, he's 222 and he runs a 4.6. He ain't going to be outrunning people, but he'll bowl them over.
222 at 4. I mean, that's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's not fast by any means. Yeah, but no.
He's 5'11". He's low to the ground. He's just going to bowl people over. The one thing that I keep holding on to is this dude does not get receptions.
Brown?
Yeah, he just doesn't get a lot of receiving work. So I'm kind of holding on to maybe that aspect. He only had 23 receptions last year. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see. But I do think Myles Gaskins is someone really you should watch out for, especially if
right now,
going through training
who would
camps.
You rather take your shot on, Myles Gaskins or Mike Davis?
Well, Mike Davis, I mean, did you see that picture that came out with his freaking thighs?
Yeah.
Good grief. I mean, that's even bigger than Saquon. I don't know. I kind of like Mike Davis only because of the fact that I like that offense a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to get goal line.
That Davis was actually like the team put capital into him. They signed him to a deal, traded for him. When
he's
Myles
also
Gaskin
bigger. He can do all of that.
But I mean, that matters how much capital a team has in a player. And
yeah.
Miami just doesn't have anything in Myles Gaskin. He was a super late round draft pick when he was drafted.
7th round.
And it's taken him a long time to get a shot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching the Fantasy Monsters on YouTube. If you liked our video today, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the little bell icon. Get notified whenever we go live or post other videos. You can see the link below. You can click on previous videos. You can also leave comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys as well. And we'll catch you next week.
Have a good one.